Russia claims it has developed powerful lasers to fire at enemy satellites in orbit. The plane-mounted lasers form part of an anti-satellite system that also involves both radar and ground-based components. Reports claim the news comes after a U.S. Air Force chief warned yesterday that space warfare could break out between superpower nations within years. Scroll down for video. According to an anonymous source quoted by Russian news agency Interfax, weapons maker Almaz-Antey has completed work on an anti-satellite complex. The system includes a laser mounted onto an aircraft as well as relevant ground control gear and radar that will help the device to find targets. It will utilize a brand new, as yet unnamed type of aircraft, the source said. The claim has not been verified by independent sources, but the Moscow-based weapons firm is known to be developing anti-satellite weaponry for Russia's military. Last April, Almaz-Antey general designer Pavel Sozanov told Russian news agency RIA Novosti that it was developing weapons that could interfere electronically with or achieve direct functional destruction of those elements deployed in orbit. He said the project was commissioned by Russian leaders. Experts said that anti-satellite weaponry is a priority for Russian officials. Samuel Bendit, a research analyst at the Center for Naval Analyses, told Defense One, Russia considers American satellites a significant threat when it comes to potential confrontation. It is actively working to counter U.S. technologies in space, such as possible electronic warfare technologies that can target hundreds of kilometers up. The developments in laser technologies are in step with U.S. and Chinese advancements in this area. Research into satellite and high-altitude drone technology has become a recent focal point for the world's top militaries, leading some to speculate that space will be a key battleground in wars of the future. Yesterday, a top U.S. military official warned that superpower nations could engage in a space war within a matter of years. U.S. Air Force Chief General David Goldfein claimed the U.S. will need new tools, specialist training and billions of dollars in funding to prepare for combat in orbit. Speaking at the Air Force Association's 34th Annual Air Warfare Symposium and Technology Exposition in Orlando, General Goldfein said, "It's time for us as a service, regardless of specialty badge, to embrace space superiority with the same passion and sense of ownership as we apply to air superiority today." General Goldfein argues that the U.S. Air Force is best placed to protect American interests in space. He said, "I believe we're going to be fighting from space in a matter of years. We are the service that must lead joint war fighting in this new contested domain. This is what the nation demands." A group of more than 40 international experts are conducting a multi-year research project that will culminate in a manual on international law applicable to military uses of outer space. Milamos's project is to ensure space activities are conducted in accordance with the rule of law. This will involve a consideration of the existing international rules on outer space. It will also involve integration with international humanitarian law and the rules prohibiting the use of force. The drafting of the rules will involve many meetings, heated discussions and compromises. It is envisaged that at the end of the project the applicable rules will be agreed on the basis of consensus. The Milamos project is not an effort to condone warfare in outer space. On the contrary, it seeks to prevent armed conflict and minimize the devastating impact that space technology and military operations may have on the long-term and peaceful use of outer space. The Outer Space Treaty, which was signed in 1967, was agreed through the United Nations, and today it remains as the Constitution of Outer Space. The Space Treaty states that celestial territory is not subject to national appropriation. In other words, no country can lay claim to them. In the 50 years the treaty has existed, it has yet to be violated.
Tell me where the freak's at.